Shalom, all praise and honor, glory to Yahweh, Bashim, Abishai, Bashim, Kakadash, Debunch to my apostles, elders, a great millstone, salutations to the 144,000 and the 130 left, the nation of Israel, and the brother Kabash from the GMS Atlanta camp. I'm here with the hope for the final let's do the spirit of Yahweh, Bashim, Abishai. In this lesson, I'm going to get into a couple of scriptures concerning prophecies. This is the book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. We're in the time of woe. We're in the time of grief, sorrow, troubles. That's what the word woe means. Along with the third woe, which is written about in Revelation chapter 11, verse 14, going into World War III. It mentions about World War II and World War III within that same scripture. In Revelation chapter 9, it goes into World War I and World War II, which are three major events that the Lord knows about. Just like in the beginning, during the time of the Tower of Babel, and everybody, being in one consent, committing all type of abominations and wanting that that particular city, the way of the the structure and the philosophies of that city Babal to continue perpetually, just like the heathens that's ruling in these times. But what the Lord said, he said, go down and confuse every man's language. The Lord knew about that great event back then. But also, too, the Lord knows about what the people are doing, in particular, the elite that's running the show of World War III, that's running the show of the catastrophes in the world, and that's really a seer over people's lives, really a tyrant over people's lives, an unrighteous ruler. And the Lord's going to stop that. And two, the Lord is also causing these woes for his people. And if his people, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and you Israelites, you don't wake up to this truth, then you're going to be destroyed. And it says, verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draw nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. We've seen that in 2020. We've seen that in the time of the Civil War in the United States of America. And in these modern day times, you got people coming online saying how America is collapsing, how America is burnt out, how the powers that be, the government of the United States of America, no matter which party, Democrat or Republican, is not for the people. And they're saying that, look, the last few videos I've seen this week, they were saying that you had a couple of people saying online that talking is not going to do it, protesting is not going to do it. We got to go into these government establishments and take over. Basically do a change like that. It's not going to change with just words. It's going to change with, like the scriptures right here. People should fight one against another with swords in their hands. That's what it's going to take. Like in 2020, I remember it vividly because I was an essential worker for a medical equipment company. The governor of Michigan, she was in the hot seat of the citizens of Michigan. They was talking about, if she don't take away the lockdowns, they're going to force kidnapping her. People standing out there with their guns. And the same thing is going to happen in these times. Matter of fact, it is happening. A lot of people are in uproar. That's why, and that's not the reason, but order out of chaos is their slogan, the elite, and they put the pressure on the people to do those things. making up these pestilence, saying that it's a pandemic, and people need to convert to what the governor says instead of them taking precaution in their own hands. The same tactic that the government used since 2020 by commencing the lockdowns, the same thing he's doing now. But this is not a C-19 lockdown. This is a great reset lockdown, like the cat Squab said. It's a great reset coming, and this is the great reset. They starting war over there with Iran, and causing this conflict between all these global nations, causing a global economy collapse. But really, they're reshaping the world by doing these things. Ever since it's been this little conflict, as Trump liked to say, over there in the East, a lot of things has been shaking and shifting because of that. Gas prices through the roof, and it's steadily climbing. Businesses is going out of business because they can't keep up with the cost of the tariffs or the taxes placed upon them. And also companies that are staying in business, they're taxing the people more. And people are losing jobs left and right. People can't make ends meet, so can't even accede to be ahead according to their goals, where they at in the job field. Like before, 20 years ago, you was able to save money and make it work for you. Nowadays, you have to, it's more than living check to check. You have to use that check, strategically, so that you can see the next day. Meals, in these households of families, causing extremely high. And like I said, the food prices are high, the gas prices is high. Everything across the board is affected by this conflict with U.S., Israel, and Iran. This is just a really a front for what's really going on behind the scene, and that's really to crash these first developed countries and replace it with this new world order system that they want to put in place. And then along with that, you got Trump deploying troops in these states in America, in these cities, in these airports. And it's just going to get worse. They replaced TSA workers. You got this government shutdown going on, and a lot of people are affected by it. Especially these TSA workers, which they go to show you too, Trump is a tyrant, man, because he's causing people to lose their livelihood, but he's also pressuring people to get in line or get put down. A lot of people been getting put in the dirt by these vicious ISIS policemen. So a lot of these things that we're seeing now is all a part of prophecy, and it's being revealed before our face. So right here it says, verse 16, for there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Yeah, so these people, they're going to get to a point where enough is enough. And Trump is ready for that. That's why he's making this move now. And going back to Revelations chapter 12, it says the devil is coming down with great wrath because he knows that he had but a short time. The elite knows that they have but a short time. And he said Ben Netanyahu or Yahoo, he got killed, which I think he's somewhere ducked off in the bunker, man, because they know that these things are about to take place as far as this World War III, and they don't want to be nowhere near it. Also, you had this online, it's like OnlyFans CEO passed away, or founder of OnlyFans to pass away from cancer. And I think he was a billionaire, which I think he just hiding somewhere, or he may have just been one of the elite sacrifices to try to accomplish the providence of this new world order, because they love sacrificing to Satan. So right here in verse 17, okay, I just looked online. Benjamin Netanyahu is not there, so it was false news or fake news. But yeah, right here it says in verse 17, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. Now right here, you got right here at the top, ISIS officers arrive at airport TSA checkpoints after Trump order. You got right here, this is what I want to show. People going into other borders and whatnot, and you got ICE agents shaking them down at these borders. And it's just going to get tighter and tighter as the days go forward. Got these ICE workers. They look like they about that life. That drummer. They looking to facing the Florida airport, which they did a female like that.
I may miss my flight that's in 1 hour.
It's all according to the scriptures.
How's it going? How are you?
I'm a big believer. 97%.
DHS inland checkpoint. Department of Homeland Security.
Porn addiction turns high IQ men into.
Okay, one more time, because it is pretty incredible. That's the tail.
Just like the movie I Am Legend with Will Smith, at the beginning, they had the checkpoint set up too. At the beginning of the movie I Am Legend. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that.
Motherfucker out here, but.
Let me see, Will Smith. legend. Checkpoint.
Things about my brand new Mercedes that I got with FlexCard that just make sense. I didn't buy it. I'm a FlexCard member, and when I got the notification that the Mercedes I've
go show you too, man. You gonna have to have the chip, man. That's off, man. What the fuck is this, man? Now, this was due to a plague that was plaguing cities and whatnot. So they got the masks on. You see how people are scanning people. This is how it's going to be in the near future, man. You know, like I said, in 2020 they did with the pandemic, so-called plague that's spreading around. This time they're going to do it, being that it's a national emergency. World War III is on the rise. While simultaneously sickness and whatnot. And you see, in order for them to get through these checkpoints, they got to be scanned. And in order for you to be scanned, you got to have that chip. This is what we head to, man. This is what these scriptures are talking about. And this is just going to get worse, too, man.
I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville.
Matter of fact, let me look at that movie, Contagion.
Skinner again.
All right, scanner again.
It's clear. It's clear. Move through.
Yes, sir. That
How long? 5 minutes. We'll make it. This is Ranger 621. We're on site.
military quarantine is about to begin.
Is anyone even working here?
Just get the cereal.
Jory, don't touch anything.
Help me.
Here, take your gloves off. Here, give me your hands. You really rub this in.
Same thing.
Hey, get away from there! Get away!
Trying to see. If I don't see it, then I'm gonna put in the next video. Yeah, here it is.
Because even the fruit bag was not enough. The city's exports and transport routes have been...
Let me see. Quarantine. checkpoint. But yeah, this is literally how it's going to be in the next future, man. I mean, not next future, but the near future. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go through that scene just to show y'all how it's going to be looking in the near future.
Because even the fruit bag was not enough.
Look,
the city's exports and transport routes have been
because
even the fruit bag was not enough. The city's exports.
A man should try to go in the city and cannot.
Transport routes have been blocked by the army. All personnel are prohibited from traveling. But many people, for so-called freedom, still do not care and insist on breaking the blockade. The city is already a mess, like a garbage dump. There are no people on the streets, museums, and gyms. But there are still some people who are not afraid of...
Cities are trash. Like the scripture says, no man should till the cities. This is where it's headed. A lot of these stores, a lot of these retail stores is going out of business for what? A lot of these Walmarts, which, you know, they'll say it's for sale, or, you know, you may see an article of, you know, this company or this mall is shutting down, but they in process of reconstruction. Ain't no process of reconstruction. These malls and these retail stores, except somewhere in LA, but I think that's a facade too. They're just showing, you know, the world on you know, social media and TV that, you know, these malls are still packed and whatnot, which I heard through the grapevine on the video. You know, this person was explaining how LA hired actors to go in these malls and, you know, make it seem like the malls are packed and whatnot. The people are still shopping there. But the reality is these malls and stuff are dead, man. Well, like I said, all of these retail stores are closing down because they're being converted into FEMA concentration camps. You know, they got the ISIS detention centers sprouting up all over the places. They already got FEMA camps and DHS centers preoccupied and furnished for people to come in. And it's not a nice scenery too. You know, you may look up next year we may be in this situation. No school, no work, you know, just anarchy in the street. Certain people got out of the city. Certain people in the rural areas are hunted down by deployed military troops. This is where we headed, man. And like I said, man, you know, the mainstream media is making it seem like everything on the surface is okay. Oh yeah, the stock market is going back up. Oh, it just took a little dip because of this war in Iran. You know, just like in the past, you know, the stock market dipped and then it goes back up. Oh yeah. They shutting down the schools due to this problem, but you know the schools are going to be backfilled and whatnot. Now you got people online saying that they're homeschooling their children because they want their children to live a fulfilled life. And he's seeing how things are happening with this society. So yeah, we're literally seeing the scriptures unfold, man.
Because even the fruit bag was not enough. The city's exports and transport routes have been blocked by the army. All personnel are prohibited from traveling.
The army. And tell me the scriptures ain't on point, man. Look what it said right. It says, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able. You seen this guy, I forgot his name, but the character that was wearing that suit, that bubble suit, He was going into the city wearing a suit. Why? Because it was a plague in that city. But a man should desire to go into the city and should not be able. Why? Because there's going to be things like that. The cities is not taken care of, and dead bodies all over the place, just like in New Orleans. New Orleans was heavily polluted, man. It took them years to reconstruct New Orleans. I remember it happened in 2005, and then finally in 2010, people started back going down to New Orleans, for the Mardi Gras Jazz Fest. Everybody was hyped up about it, like, oh man, it's back open. French Quarter is back open. But this time it's not going to be such. Why? Because Babylon the Great is fallen, like it says in Revelation chapter 18. Verse 18 says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You look at that movie Contagion, man, those people were afraid, prohibited from traveling. And these troops, they've been deployed, setting up these checkpoints. You see right in front of your face that they're at the airports and whatnot, just out of nowhere. The government ain't holding back. And a lot of people have been saying that too. The government is just doing what he wants to do. Well, not he in particular, Trump, but he's representing the government, is what I meant to say. Trump, who is representing the government, he's doing what he wanted to do. And nobody is stopping him, yo. Why? Because it's all the plans of the elite banking family who runs this society.
But many people, for so-called freedom, still do not care and insist on breaking the blockade. The city is already a mess, like a garbage dump. There are no people on the streets, museums, and gyms. But there are still some people who are not afraid of death, gathering together to protest all around them and rush into the...
Come on now. They should be rise up against their princes and kings with swords in their hands.
Government's military vehicles. Some people even started to eat guns and rob the city. At that moment, everyone was in danger. At that time, the mortality rate is about 30%. At that time, the world population was as high as 6 billion people. There will be 600 million people infected at a time. And the number of deaths will be as high as 180 million. What a terrible number. The development of the vaccine is fast. But when will the result come? No one knows. Because even the fruit bag was not.
And that's why the apostles say, and brothers too say, eat right, because there's going to be a time where we can't go to these hospitals or these, underground physicians to get medicine from, or you can't go to a Whole Foods place or a farmer's market to get your herbs and your vegetables and fruits, or even tend to your garden. There's going to be a time that is just going to be anarchy in the streets. This is Jacob's trouble. And it says, verse 18, because of their pride, and yes, American people has a lot of pride, just as well as other Western influence countries are. For because of their pride, the cities shall be destroyed, the houses shall be destroyed, and men should be afraid. And you seen in that video I just showed, verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Yep, this is where we headed to. So let me get one more scripture, then I'm going to wrap it up. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. And like I said, it's right in front of our faces, man. They shutting down these schools from elementary to these colleges. These jobs is being cut and people is like they're never being rehired. You got this closing downs of all of these retail stores. And chaos is steadily rising amongst the people, the everyday people of America and everywhere else in the world. But when America falls and starts to look like the rest of the world, the whole world is going to be in shock and panic. Then the whole world is going to lose it even more. This is what we're going into. And it says, verse 3, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they should not escape. So if you're not of the hopefully let, you're not going to escape the said perils. Only those that have the works and faith of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, like it says in the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 7 and 8, are going to escape. But those of you, Jays, that have received benefits in this lifetime and rejected the Lord's liberty to get right with him through his son Yahweh Shai by repenting, then you're going to be destroyed. You're going to be caught off guard. So yeah, with that, I'm going to say shalom.